Ant Blue, man. What's going on, brother? How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm good, man. We got a true creative in the house. One of the guys in Brooklyn who I really sort of follow, just who has the scene on lock. Just been doing a lot of creative stuff across a lot of different disciplines, which I think is the true sign of like a real artist and a real creative. How'd you get here, man? You know, I think that's one of those things where I'm following everything you're doing. You're shutting down fire venues, or you're building a culture and community, and so many people sort of enjoy your art in the city. But how did you get here?
To New York?
Yeah.
I bought a ticket. I bought a one-way ticket. And,
One way?
Yeah. And everything's been working out since then.
One way from
Nebraska.
Okay.
Just going to school out there. Originally from Texas. Finished school, graduated in Nebraska, then flew out here.
Had you been in New York before?
I came my first time in New York was for Washington Crown.
Okay.
And then I went back home.
All right. So you did the one-way route. And you locked in. What was some of the first things you did here? Like how'd you start building that name for yourself and getting your work on?
So I moved for an internship with Karl.
Okay.
And
Karl, yo.
I was working with the Karl office in New York, doing like photo, video stuff.
Okay.
Shomi, the director, Shomi Patwari, he was like the head director, so I was just like a PA for him, and then working with a bunch of other guys like Tuan Tran.
Nice.
Just learning through those guys, and then once that company folded, I worked with a watch company that was in Karl that was still doing work outside of Karl, and then worked for their freelancer photos, like photo, video.
So photos and videos were first before you did anything else?
Yep.
Okay. All right, and then I know now you do a lot of DJ work. What do you say is like, and I'll probably ask more, but I'll get more into this later. What's like, you do a lot across a lot of multiple disciplines, and you're all very good at all of them, but what's the one that you like? What do you want to be called? Like, what's the one that you're like, man, I'm that first?
I don't know. I started doing photo stuff first.
Okay.
But I think it's just, we all evolve. I just try to like explore everything, experiment everything.
Yeah.
I don't want to limit it to anything, you know?
Right. So it's like, I personally believe, man, a lot of people think so linear. It's so annoying when someone's like, yo, so what are you? What do you do? I get that a lot. It's like, you're an attorney, you know, why are you doing interviews and doing media? Why are you teaching? Or why? It's like, my purpose is impact. And there's so many disciplines you can do inside impact. So if your goal is to, I want to show the world that you can do it's like being a lawyer, that's just one facet of that. So being a photographer, that's one facet of it. You know, now you're doing animations, which I think are super tough. How'd you get into that?
I got into animation because some of the photo work I was doing was kind of animation based, like making GIFs with my photos.
Okay.
Just trying to find ways to push it forward versus just having a still image, like trying to make stuff I haven't seen before.
Okay.
And then just learning how like keyframing work through photos, and then wanting to push that further, kind of just getting on YouTube, learning about animation, and learning about the programs, and watching music videos, seeing like cool shit, trying to just want to learn how to make that.
Yeah.
For myself.
No, nobody to teach you?
No, just YouTube, like the people on YouTube.
Yeah. No, I feel that.
I don't know their names to like credit them, but there's tons of information on there.
Yeah. Any highlights you think from the photography side? Like something you were like, man, that was special.
I think just when Instagram first landed, just knowing how to, learning how to network.
Okay.
So I was shooting, like I would go out every day. A friend of mine told me, I was living in Jersey, and a friend of mine told me like, you didn't move to the East Coast to stay in Jersey every day, because I was looking for a job in Jersey. And I was like, damn, you're right.
That's where I'm from, though. I can't hold you. That's a great state.
So I was like, you're right. I gotta go to the city every day. And so this is like 2012. Instagram just landed, like just a photo sharing app. So I would go out, meet people, take their picture, get their Instagram, share it. So just like this repetitive process of meeting people and like connecting the dots, giving them something. Like here's a photo I took of you. If they like it, they'll repost it. So just.
And just for context, what year was that?
2012.
2013. So you've been doing this for a while. So it's like, someone like me sees your level of success and the way you're networking and moving laterally, and you kind of got your pulse and that community built. This is like 8 years it took, right? Yeah.
So photo is just using photography as a way to communicate with people and get outside of myself and interact with people that was moving and shaking around the city.
Yep.
All right, so it's 2012, 2013, photos, you're doing cool stuff on that end. How do you start transitioning more so to DJ and making music, or have you always been doing that and it kind of just came out at a certain point? When did the DJing start coming out?
It kind of came like indirectly. Like in high school, I was like burning CDs, selling CDs around. So I always had this hard drive of music. College house parties, just like Oxford DJing. Had a little blog I was running, like just kind of copying what Two Dope Boys was doing. So just kind of always was in the know of like what type of music I liked or what type of music was coming out. And then I guess being here in New York, one of my friends opened a bar in Brooklyn. So we had the space to do whatever we wanted to do. And we had a party called Next Level Vibe where my friend Matt was DJing and I would do the visuals. He moved to Puerto Rico. And we had another party, didn't have a DJ, and I was like, fuck it, I'll do it. So from there, played that party and got booked to play SOBs from that party. And so it's just like, damn.
I hate when stuff like that happens.
Like, right.
Actually,
if I want to play SOBs, I'm just like, yeah, that's a legendary place.
Well, were you good at that point?
Being
honest, were you good?
Tons of music, terrible mixing. Okay. So like, first time doing it, and then it's just like, once you do it, you're like, all right, I'm gonna do it. Like I have enough confidence to get up here and do it. And then you're fucking up all over the party, like, and I'm like, my bad, it's my first time. And then my friend comes up to me like, stop apologizing, don't nobody know it's your first time. Yeah. So it's just like, oh shit. It's like little gems that happens once you just go through like honesty.
Right. So when you go to a party and you hear someone DJing or not good, what's your reaction?
Not too much of a reaction, it's just kind of unfortunate. Because it's just like, damn.
Even though you had your moments?
Yeah, because it's like, this is the moment, like, it just depends on how bad they are. If they're like super bad, it's like, bro, you should have practiced. You don't even come in here like this. Or,
like say some of the transitions need work, like, for me, I'm like, I get it, because, everybody starts from somewhere, but I'm always curious, like, when a DJ goes to the party, are they sort of like...
Yeah. I don't know, I'm very jealous, like, I don't really like to see other people spinning, I don't like other people, like, messing it up, like, because it's such a, like, selfish thing, it's like, I'm in control, I'm playing the songs, like, I know what to do, so I kind of get jealous sometimes. But in that same sentence, it's like the times where I was messing up, it was like, these are my parties, so you can come or not come, versus like going up and down a place that's established and people are up there stinking it up, or like going to South by and hearing Funkmaster Flex like stink it up. So.
No, I feel like, right now I feel like you're known most for that. Is that fair to say? Like in New York City, do you think you're most known for your DJing?
I don't have a scope on it.
You don't think you have a scope on it? All right, so yeah, I would say personally, just from the outside looking in, being around, obviously we don't run in the exact same crowds, but there's some sort of synergy between the people we know. When I first heard of you, it was on the DJ scene. How does that make you feel though? It's like, do you ever feel like, yo, I don't want you to just think of me as a DJ, or do you feel like that's limiting?
No, I don't really get caught up on what people think as far as like what I do, because it's like if they look into it, or if they go into the profile, or if they talk to me, they'll realize there's so much more.
Right.
So I mean, in this age, people think what they want to think just based off of swiping and seeing what's repetitively happen. But
yeah,
if they go deep enough, they'll start seeing some other stuff.
Right. So, all right, you start getting hot on the scene in New York. You do SOBs. What's starting to happen after that? Are you doing something weekly or monthly? Are you getting randomly booked? How do you start build that name and community and culture around Stonie Blue?
just throwing stuff. Like my friend Jonas will always book me for stuff he has.
Okay.
We was throwing basement parties, inviting everybody we knew, playing SOBs. So like he'll put me on like before Lil Uzi Vert popped, I got to open up for him. Like Bone Thugs and Harmony or like Tiana Taylor, like whoever he's booking shows for is just like he'll just throw me in there.
Right.
So it's just like building that base through SOBs and then just getting in touch with other venues, like doing a lot of stuff at Kinfolk. Right when they were kind of like starting to go up.
Were you turning stuff now? Because I feel like, for me, I feel like SOBs, depending on the artist, and then like Kinfolk are like totally different vibes and totally different communities.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever feel like...
Was I turning stuff down?
Yeah, like were you like, nah, I don't want to do that because it's gonna...
I was saying yes to everything. Because it's just more knowledge, more reps. It's like, okay, I get to do it again and I enjoy doing it. So it's just like, I'm gonna say yes. Because at this point, you're getting paid like $50 or you're not getting paid. So it's just like, I'm not losing nothing and I love it. So I'm just gonna do all of it.
Right. What are some of the art moments, you know, whether it be a DJing, animation, photography, what are some of the moments you're proud of the most over the past like 8 years when you look back and since you've been in New York? What are you like, man, that was a crazy moment?
I'd say this year, like the school I went to, University of Nebraska, they gave me a master's award in March.
That's fire.
And so with that happening, I'm the youngest person in school history to get the master's award.
That's amazing. Yeah.
And I'm a black person in a place like Nebraska and went to the art school in Nebraska. So it's like, damn, like the youngest person in school history, the school's been around for so long.
Right.
And I didn't go there to do art. I went there to play sports.
Right.
So it's just like, damn, I'm doing something right.
What was your major?
Fine arts, emphasis in graphic design.
So it wasn't like
It's good.
you were like your major was like far off from like where you ended up. It was kind of like you kind of knew when you were at Nebraska that like after this football stuff's over, I'm gonna buy a one-way to New York and like really get into the game.
It was more so like, I'm going to the NFL. You need to pick a major. It's like, damn, I like art.
You thought you were going to the league?
Yeah. It was like, oh, you need to pick a major. It's like, damn, I gotta pick something. All right, let me pick. I like art. I'm gonna pick this. And so I just didn't really like.
You thought you were going to the league. That's not everyone does though. I ain't gonna lie though. If you play sports at a high level, and especially if you got recruited to play in, was it Big 10 at that point?
It was Big 12.
Big 12. You get recruited to play in the Big 12. I mean, it's like, you know, you really have a shot at least, right?
Yeah.
To get to that next level. Was there any realization on the athletic front? Like, when was that moment where you're like, oh shit, I'm definitely not going to the league?
If I didn't get hurt, I would be in the league for sure. The person I started over got drafted first round. I tore my ACL going into sophomore year.
You started as a freshman?
Started as a freshman the last 4 games because they lost that season and we was like 5-7. So at the end of they're just like, let's see what these freshmen got. Let's start preparing for next year.
Right.
Started the last 4 games. I ended up guarding Jordy Nelson on one of the games. He burnt me for a touchdown, but they overthrew it. So I was like, thank God. But I went to that school knowing like everyone's a senior. There's opportunity to play. They put tons of people in the NFL all the time. So my vision was like, this is the plan that's gonna work. This is the school that's gonna make it happen. Then I tore my ACL. That was it.
What were there other programs you were looking at, like besides Nebraska?
Texas A&M, UNLV, Oregon for track, UCLA.
All right. So you really did have a chance. That's crazy. Nah, I just think it's like so crazy how it's like, I used to play sports and how like so indebted I was to basketball like every day. It's like, that's all I can think of. My whole life was around that. And then you pivot like and say, all right, I'm not sort of a walking star, I guess. In football, come on, you're a football player at a Big 12 school. You're somebody. I don't care what anyone says. At least you feel like you're somebody. And then like coming out and pivoting and starting like all over again, like really having to like come to New York and like just rebuild your name. I feel like that's like humbling in a sense. Do you feel the same way?
I don't feel that way. I was so excited. I was so excited to come here, and then you're leaving a place like Nebraska where there's nothing happening, and it's been like your training grounds the whole time. Like, no distractions.
Right.
You're into the arts, so you have chances to learn everything about photography, painting, drawing, printmaking, sculpture. So, and I was around the artist community outside of the football players, so it's like, damn, there's like these kids expressing themselves, thinking differently than the people that I'm around all the time. So I was like gassed.
Right.
So to get to New York is just like, damn, everything I learned, I can apply it.
Sure.
And I know how to learn and I know how to apply it. So
Yeah.
I was gassed.
So, I guess fast forwarding a little bit to like what you're doing now. You're doing a lot of parties, a lot of them with the same sort of DJs. Where do you feel like the New York scene is at right now? I mean, you've been here for about 7-8 years. Are you excited about the direction? Do you feel like, you know, the party scene, the culture is in a good spot? You feel like it's in a bad spot? Yeah, like does it excite you still the same way that it did 7-8 years ago?
I think it's a little flat right now in New York specifically. Mostly because I'm the type of person that plays so much, and so with playing a lot, it just becomes the same.
Right.
Like the crowds become the same, the music you hear out becomes the same, and I'm not sure if it's always been like that or if it's the point of me realize it's like time to push it forward.
Nah, I'll give you credit. You know, not just because you're here, but like I'll see you sometimes like something will drop that day, like you'll play like Zaza or something like that, or other creative like stuff just to mix it up. Like I've noticed you do that, which I think is pretty cool. Not being some like super, you know, nerd about some music. No, it's like this is still party. We're gonna have some fun, and like you know, that was a dope moment. Like you know what I'm saying? Like Zaza, it's like it's a fun moment.
And the people that know connect with it, and those are the people that you can bring with you to the next gig.
Yep, 200%. But I would agree that it's flat. Do you think it's a result of, and you kind of said this, but do you think a result because there's like really the same sort of people playing a lot of the same parties, and that's kind of like what's controlling the scene?
I think it's that, and I think it's like a lack of risk takers. I think it's like a lot of safety. It's like, one, it's hard to get new venues, so people are forced to party in the same spaces, which if you live here, you're like, damn, another night at so-and-so venue or another night at, so it gets very predictable.
Facts.
And then you see the lineup, it's like, why are the same DJs always booked? Are they really the best, or is no one else getting a chance to express some different shit?
A lot of times, though, I follow you on Twitter, and a lot of times I think you talk about how it's like people kind of want you to like put them on, though, or like give. It's like I've never been a person to say like, why does the same people get booked? I'm like, screw them. I'm gonna go uptown and like build my own community, or like I'm gonna like, that's how something else comes about. Like, but I can't agree with you. I think that's like really it. I think a lot of people are just like, oh, that's what it is right now. Those are the venues, those are the DJs, and you know, like, let me suck up or like let me not do anything about it. Right.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like an undertone of it. You know? So do you think there's like do you think we can like, how do we get past this? What's next? Like, what do you think? Like, because I feel like you don't owe it to the city, but like I think you are, you know, an important person to kind of speak on like DJing and you know, the party scene and, you know, going out. Like you almost garner the responsibility in a sense. Where do you feel like you want to take it?
If I had to answer, I'll be doing it. But I think the answer is going super left with it. Not sure what that is at the moment.
Real shit.
But it definitely has to be changed. Like, it has to be some innovation. It's like, you already know.
We gotta do it at that. We gotta do a party at this this roller rink right here.
Something new, bro.
Yeah. Besides yourself, who else do you like? Like, who do you think is super talented, or you just enjoy their sets?
For DJs?
Yeah.
I feel like Yellow Tech. Damn, my homie Jay Words just snapped, bro. She plays on the like OP1 or something.
What's her name?
Jay Words.
Okay.
She's based in Union City.
New Jersey?
Yeah. But she's super tight because her set 1 is 101 and she's playing all her own shit. And she's playing off these little like machines. No laptop, no CDJs, they're just like little beat machines and all her shit's is on there.
I'm excited to look her up. Like,
But
this is
she's-
crazy.
she's
Jersey,
super
too. Yeah, I'm excited to look her up.
And she's low key too, so I feel like more people need to check her out.
Okay.
I love what Yellow Tech does. He tries to include everybody. Like in the summertime, he throws these big ass parties. Like get all the DJs involved. Like
He's a Jersey person, too, maybe, right?
I believe he's from Boston.
Okay.
But he's pushing it on fronts. Like he'll play in Asia, he'll play in Brazil, play in America. Like he's moving,
Okay.
just doing different shit and involving everybody. Fuck with Mike Nasty.
Shout out to Mike Nasty.
Shit. I can't vouch for too many people though. I like Jada Lorraine. She's tight. She be snapping.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I can't vouch for too many people because I like to make it about me.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, to be honest with you.
I like my set the most.
Yeah, I mean, as you should. It's like the basketball player who's like, yeah, I think I'm the, like you asked me, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't play for anybody else. Like, you know, so cool. I think we have a better picture of that scene, but like, who are your sort of inspiration? Like, who do you look at, like, this person sort of drives what you do or you admire from artwork standpoint that like, that you just connect with? Like, there's anybody? Is there any, like a Pharrell? Is it like people like, do you have anybody like that?
Yeah, I feel like anytime Stonie Blue drops, I just got to put my attention to it because I've been a fan for so long. And it's always like fresh air when he does stuff.
Right. That's one person? Is that one person?
Stonie Blue is, I guess his name is Chaz, but I guess Toro's the band. I
Okay.
never know the correct way to say it.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
it's usually him at the forefront and then people around it.
Gotcha.
I like everything he does. And he inspired, like, he's a lot of reasons why I got into producing, just because it's like him every time. It's like, doesn't sound like much, but it sounds like him.
Yep.
I mean, doesn't sound like much as far as what anyone else makes.
Right. Wait, I gotta ask you about something. Yo, I was at the Drake party maybe last year at the Brooklyn Mirage.
Mhm.
And then, yo, didn't you grab the mic and start rapping?
I had to.
Yo, I was dead. What was that about? What was that about?
Because I figured, bro, it's like, I'm in this space, I never know if I'll be back.
Yeah.
It could be terrible or it could be really good. As long as I did it, I did it.
Yo, that was a moment. Nah, I was like, yo, this guy's tripping. But it was good though. It was good.
Yeah.
It was in a moment.
It's like, I'm in this space. It's like, what better time than now? It's like, I
Yeah.
gotta get this song out. This is the only song I got.
So, do you plan on releasing more music? Is that like part of the plans the next year or so?
Yeah, I have to. I have to release more music because a lot of the DJs that move around the world have original music
Oh,
out.
you definitely gotta do it.
And I think if you don't have that, then it's hard to gain a fan base outside of the city you're in.
Yeah.
So we're in a point of the time where music is music, good or bad, somebody gonna like it.
Right.
So I gotta just continue to find my tribe of people that like my shit.
Yep. But they gonna a lot of times too is like if they connect you as a person, you know, and they know what your spirit's about, like that music's probably gonna connect with them anyway. You know what I mean? If they were like fans of what you do, been putting out, it's like it's not like your stuff's not gonna have, you know, your feeling in it. Like they just know your sort of work, and I always think it's like that's how community gets built. How much original music do you have up right now on platforms or?
I have 2 EPs.
Yeah.
They're like the official releases.
Right.
And then everything else is just like SoundCloud releases.
Do you feel like you're not taking that side as serious as you want from like as you might want to, just from like a promotion or like a releasing the music and like really doing full rollouts? Do you think you're taking that part as serious as you want to, or yeah?
It could definitely be more serious. I think I still struggle with making music, like I have to make music when I'm comfortable. So if I know like my roommates are listening, then I can't really like make shit.
Got you.
Cause then I gotta go to the living room like, so like I still just struggle with like finding the time when I want to do it and when I feel like doing it versus like forcing it out just because.
Do you feel? Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. So your creative process, like, you put out a lot of stuff across a lot of platforms, disciplines, like animations, right? Like you know, photographs, your music, and then you go out in front of people and do live sets. It's it's a lot of stuff you're putting yourself out there a lot in that regard. I do too. I find myself like dropping something and being like super nervous. Like the second I drop, I'm like, oh shit, like no one talked to me. I don't know what they're saying. What is your feeling like? Do you feel like sometimes you're still your worst enemy, or you pretty much got over that?
I think I'm over it when it's stuff I release, but I've been recently, I'm trying to figure out why I feel like this, but I hate when people film me on like IG stories.
Oh, I was gonna say, you'll put the cameras off.
Not like this, but just like when you're doing something, like if I'm spinning and they put the light on you, it's just like, damn, I feel like I'm looking stupid. It's just like something I started developing now. It's kind of weird. It's like, and it's such a contradiction because I take photos.
Right.
And so now I'm starting to feel like, hey, you don't have consent to be filming me. And then you'll be looking stupid on someone's story, like eating fucking donut or something.
Are you around, like, is that happening to you, like in Brooklyn, like where in a moment where like?
Nah, it's like my friends.
Like, but say you hop on the subway. Does someone know who Ant Blue is? Does that have you gotten pulled out like, yo, Ant Blue, what's going on?
In Brooklyn, because I'm DJing so much.
Yeah.
But if I'm in the city and...
How's that feel though? Like when someone in Brooklyn, you're walking around, you might be just chilling with your homies and someone's like, yo, Ant Blue, man, I just wanted to connect with you. Here's my mixtape, throw that on the set. Like, how do you feel about it?
I guess it just depends on the day. Like, we're all human. Like, sometimes it sucks when you play like Wednesday through Saturday and then Sunday you just want a day for yourself and still have to be on. Like,
right.
So I kind of consider like I just got to be nice to everybody. And sometimes I start feeling like I'm doing a disservice to myself because I got to be fake nice.
Fake nice don't work for me. I'm pretty much...
It's hard for me to be mean though. It's like I don't want this to go wrong and it's like not even a big deal. It's just...
Yeah. But a lot of people don't even come respectfully though. That's where I'm like, I have like a conscious tick in my head. It's like, yo, I'm eating over here with like a girl or like I'm chilling in a private space and you come over here just like, bro, you already, it's not even about me being mean. It's like, you crossed the line. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I be feeling about that. Because, yeah, like that I feel like you gotta protect your spirit and your soul more than anything else.
It's just tricky because Brooklyn is such a mixy place though. Like if you go to the deli, you can see anybody.
It's a very mixy place.
And I guess the part of Brooklyn I'm in, I'm kind of not on the outskirts. I'm like off the J train.
Right.
So, but I just think about it as like I try, if I can be nice to people, it's like not that big of a deal. But sometimes I'm just like, damn, I don't want to talk to nobody today.
Right. You've been here for a while, man. Like doing a lot of different stuff, connecting with people, obviously building a fan base, obviously, making a lot of art, and doing it well. Is this the place for you?
I think it was the place. I'm going through a phase now where it's like I have to change something.
Right.
But it's tricky with that because you build a foundation and it's like, do you abandon it? Make all these friends, you don't want to leave them behind. So it's like my main money maker is here. So I don't want to rebuild that somewhere else.
Right.
So I'm still figuring it all out.
How tough was it for you to really make a living off of doing what you love as an artist? Like, has that been sort of, obviously you're in a better position than you were 5 years ago, but like, was it a constant struggle?
Was it a struggle? I guess there's been moments of struggle, but it's weird, bro. Like if you possess yourself to want something, you kind of just do it all the time.
Right.
And so like trying to build my name as a photographer, it was just like knowing that it's gonna come, knowing it's gonna work out later and doing all the work on the front end. So like shooting every day, shooting every week, like sharing your work all the time. It's like there's struggles in that because you're not getting paid for everything.
Yep.
But then the perspective of it is like, I'm doing something I love and I'm not doing XYZ. I'm not a trash man or like whatever undesirable job that you would fill in the blank with.
Right.
So there's definitely struggles, but a lot of support though. So much support from friends and family. Like when I moved here, I was sleeping on my friend's couch.
Yeah.
For rent free.
Same.
So that was helpful in a place where I'm not making money. So that's the balance.
Right.
Then the struggle of that, you're not making money, so you're eating dollar slices every day. Struggle, you want to taste something else.
Sure.
You go out to eat with people, you gotta just get something to drink and just like go somewhere else after.
Yep. Nah, those days were horrible. Those days are horrible.
But I wouldn't change any of it though, so that's the tight part about it.
All right. I'm sure there's a lot of up and coming creatives and DJs in this city that are probably looking at you as, you know, the guy or, you know, one of the guys, you know, in the scene that they want to get to and aspire. What are some of the mistakes you're seeing from like a lot of creatives or DJs or people trying to like, you know, build that community and cultivate that? What are some of the mistakes that they're making, or what is something you can give to them that you know, that will help them get to that next level?
I think they need to, like, just anyone upcoming.
Yeah.
As far as DJing or everything?
DJing, yeah, I would say mostly more so on the DJ side, but you can make it broader if you want for creators.
I think anyone that's upcoming as a DJ, they need to just stop asking for gigs and just go get it, because just the same way I can get in contact with a venue, any venue you get in touch to it's like an interview process anyway. So if they learn that early to unlock a venue on their own, then they'll always be good.
So it's like, don't ask Ant Blue to be, like, that doesn't make sense though. In my opinion, it just wouldn't make sense. Like, yo,
because people will be friends with you and they're like, can you recommend someone to do something? It's like, bro, we do the same thing. Like, me recommending you is like, I'm not gonna be playing that.
Oh yeah, like what the fuck?
So why don't you just go do a bunch of it and invite the people you know?
Right.
Then you don't have to ask nobody for a recommendation. Right. You just keep doing it and keep doing it. And that's how we started. Like, my friend had the bar. We would just throw parties on the nights we could.
Yeah.
We didn't ask nobody, and he was our friend.
Build your own.
Exactly. And they'll always come. Just build that shit.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, New York, I guess I don't have too much advice for people in New York. I think just do something that ain't happening. Do something 101.
Yes. I would say,
more.
And this is like I gotta say this. I would say too, stop being so sceney and like without doing your own work. I feel like this is like the city full of like people who buy clothes and do a lot, but they don't really be putting in their own work. Like no one really, I don't see them sitting in hours, you know, in their apartment, you know, learning how to do animation, learning how to design, or learning how to, it's like there's a buying culture, there's appreciation for the buying, but no one's really doing it. No one's really doing the work, but people love the scene, and you know, I would say stay less out the scene. Obviously meet people, but like find out who's really doing the work, and if anything, build with them, like, you know, and bring value. But like find out who's really doing the work. Like there's so many people in the way in New York City, like, oh, that dude is that person, he's that, and you're like, you find out, it's like, this guy does nothing. Like, this person literally has contributed, and I hate to be so linear about it, but it's like, this person hasn't done any fire art, done any fire creative work, hasn't really built the community or anything like that, but just like, is in the way, or is a person in the mix and on the scene, and like, just build your own, do your own art. Like, that about New York City bothers me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
people shaking the most hands and showing the most love, but it ain't even, you can't even tell if it's real love.
Yeah.
But I mean, hopefully they get what they're looking for.
Right. I
just couldn't be that person. Like, I show love to everybody, but I'm not going out of my way to like shake so-and-so's hand because they do this.
I'm pretty, dude, I admire greatness. I don't care about anything else. Like, if I love your art, I love, you know, your sets, I like the creative stuff you're doing. I mean, I admire that. I think everything else is sort of secondary for me with people. So it's like, yeah, I think we have this infatuation with like who knows who, and you know, that person looking cool in the corner and all that stuff. But it's like, nah, what's your work product? And, you know, have you been moving the culture? Have you been shaking things up? And 99% of the time, it's like, no. Yeah, you know, everyone keeps telling me I need to go talk to this person. And I'm just like, no, I don't. I don't need to go talk to that person.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, like I don't. I think one of the last questions I want to ask is sort of, what's next for the next couple years? Not from where you're at, not location wise, doesn't really matter in my opinion. Where do you want to? Because you've seen the pivots in your career. All right, you were a football player, D1. You know, I'm done going to the league. I go to New York. I start, you know, getting on the photography scene, and you know, Carmelo working at that place, and then you kind of pivot to now you're, you know, the music is sort of at the forefront, and then now you're kind of, you know, the animation's there, and it's all good stuff, and it's all fluid in one sort of package. But, you know, next 3 years, what is it? What do you want to do on an art level? Where do you want to tap in?
Still trying to find ways to harness it all, so it's like one energy effort in the same direction versus trying to like do this, and this, and this.
Yeah.
And so I think it's just building a team and just working with good people.
Yeah.
And then on top of the knowledge we have, giving that back to younger people that are truly interested in it.
You gonna come to my class? This is on record. I'll get you to Philly, Amtrak. Are you gonna come to my class?
Down.
All right, he's on record. Yeah, no, I fuck with that heavy. I think like I said, one of the reasons why I wanted to talk to you is more so you just do it across a lot of disciplines, and you're doing it at a high level, sort of without compromising anyone, right? And I think that's always like the mark of someone who's like an artist. But yeah, I think for you, I think you're going to get to a point where I think one of them's going to stand out, and you'll probably just like go with that for the long, and just like that's where the greatness is going to go. And then right now, it feels like the DJing for me was like where I stole it, because it was like that's like, you know, I know how important New York is in the culture and being out, and then like, you know, your name, you know, seemingly everywhere next to some solid names, and you're doing that at all the spots I want to go to at night. You know, Kinfolk. Lot 45, places like that. So that's where I heard of you, and you sort of created that community. But now that you got people's attention, I think you can sort of like, I think the sky's the limit. Yeah. I appreciate you coming, man.
Thank you for having me.
Nah, thanks for sitting down with me.